This hacking genius robs the US government for millions of dollars. We'll call him Hacker. So Hacker has always had very strong anti-modern society, anti-establishment feelings. So much so that after high school, dude totally unplugs from modern society and just goes to live in the woods. Now, while in the woods and high off the za, Buddy comes up with a master plan on how he's gonna rob the US government for $5 million. More specifically, he creates a plan to rob the most despised organization in our country, the IRS. So here's the scheme. Hacker gets the records of thousands of dead senior citizens. With this information, he files bogus tax returns in their name. He creates a computer program that helps him automate this process. So now he can file hundreds of tax returns at the same time. The program works by sending malware bots to random computers across the country. These bots take control of people's computers and file the tax returns. So it looks like the tax returns are coming from all over the country. He has the money from these tax returns routed to these prepaid debit cards. Okay, so are you with me so far? So this seems to be a pretty straightforward scam. The way he's doing this is pretty much untraceable, but there's kind of a problem. While robbing the IRS is a cakewalk for this dude, actually getting the money in his hand turns out to be a hell of a mission. It's not so easy getting millions of dollars off of prepaid debit cards. Hacker ends up going to a crap ton of ATMs trying to get the money off these cards, but he can only do so much. Plus, time is of the essence. The IRS will catch on to this sooner or later, so he needs to get the money off of those prepaid debit cards. So Hacker figures he'll have other people help him get the money off of these debit cards. But Hacker's not from around the way. It's not like he can make a couple phone calls and have the whole hood down to pull a scam with him. So this man turned to the internet to help him recruit people. He posted ads on the message boards that he liked and recruited people that way. Before long, he had a network of money mules who would take money off the debit card, keep their share, and then send the rest in a package to one of Hacker's lieutenants, who would then take out their share and send the remaining money over to Hacker. So the good thing with hiring people off the internet is these people are anonymous. No names are exchanged, which protects Hacker. Unfortunately, the bad thing about hiring people off the internet is you don't know these people. You don't know if they can be trusted, or you don't know if they're total screw-ups. Which brings us to this dude. We'll call him Carter. Tell me why. This genius rents one P.O. box and has over 25 debit cards in 25 different people's names come to the same one P.O. box. This obviously alerts the Postal Service, who alert the feds, who pull up on Carter. Carter tells the feds how he was recruited on the message boards. So the feds are like, okay, we'll make a profile on the message boards and we'll get put on. That leads them to one of Hacker's lieutenants, who immediately get the snitching. The thing is, there are no names given, so he can only snitch so much. But the feds learn something else from our snitching lieutenant. They learn that there are a bunch of leaks in Hacker's operation. Turns out, all of this anonymity had the money mules just keeping all of the money instead of just taking out their agreed share and sending the rest of the money on up the chain. So Hacker was robbing the IRS, but he wasn't getting nearly as much money as he should have been. And it makes sense. There are no names, no identity information exchanged, so why not run off on the plug? I mean, what's he gonna do? This makes Hacker angry, understandably so. So Hacker sends an email to our snitching lieutenant, and he's like, look, put 60,000 in a box and send it to the FedEx in Palo Alto, California. Now, I'm saying it like that because Hacker's really angry. I mean, he's tired of these dudes robbing him while he's trying to rob the IRS. He's also like, and nothing better be funny about this situation. Cause if I go to this FedEx and something ain't right, I get the whiff of anything going wrong, well, I'ma light the place up. Now, I'm not sure why he's talking so gangster, but dude seems to be on tilt. So the feds stake out this particular FedEx location, and sure enough, Hacker shows up to collect his package. Hacker's wearing a hoodie and some glasses, and he's moving very carefully. The feds claim that they didn't know if Hacker was armed or They didn't even know if the dude they were looking at was even the right guy or not. Plus, they didn't want any casualties since he was talking so crazy in that email. So they let him go with the 60,000. So from Hacker's point of view, everything went smoothly. But remember, he's still on tilt. From his perspective, he's robbing the IRS for millions, but he's only getting thousands from it. He's still very much in the red according to what he thinks he should be getting from this whole scam. So he sends another email to the snitching lieutenant. This time, he tells him to send $350,000, and he talks even more gangster. He screwed up with this email though. And I mean, he big time screwed up with this email. And I'm not talking about, his little gangster rants that he goes on. What I'm saying is he forgot to use a VPN. So the feds were able to track his IP address to this Verizon Air card that was located in the Palo Alto area. They found the cell tower that this Air card was using and used this unethical device that helps pinpoint the exact location of the Air card. Why is this device so unethical? Well, in order to pinpoint an exact location, it kind of has to spy on everybody in the area. Remember that movie, The Dark Knight? I mean, it's kind of like my favorite movie of all time. But anyway, the device the feds used, called a Stingray, works similarly to the device that was used at the end of The Dark Knight to catch the Joker. And it turns out, Hacker is this dude named Danny. Danny gets arrested and claims that the federal government violated his Fourth Amendment rights by using this Stingray device. Unfortunately for him, the judge ruled that the Fourth Amendment can't really be used to protect an alias. The Stingray device was used on Hacker, not Danny. So Danny ends up serving 6 years. Moral of the story, don't recruit people off the internet for your crimes, man. Like, that's not gonna work.